Everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 84 and today we're starting things off in front of the big hole as always. I mean, that's been the intro to pretty much every single Hermitcraft episode for the past couple of weeks. But anyway, today's episode, we're going to get this thing finished. I'm going to use your suggestions down in the comments because you guys are smarter than me. Is it just me? Or are my elytra making a really strange noise? It's slightly robotic. Anyway, a lot of you were suggesting that I create slow fall potions. And that seems like a great idea. So I'm going to pop over to Green's base. I'm going to grab some Phantom Membrane because he has absolutely tons of the stuff. And he always takes things from my base. So I think this is long overdue. And let's make some. Of course, I totally asked him first. And he totally said yes. That may or may not have been a lie. Now I'm curious. Has anyone ever bought shorts from Zedav's Warts, Quartz and Shorts shop? Because, I mean, these still seem to be here. Right, so this is making its way through, and now we have ourselves potions of slow falling, and then I'm guessing I can extend the length of time that they work for. So this should push it up to 8 minutes, hopefully. I'm going to have to really keep my eye on this. It's actually only 4 minutes, but hopefully this should be enough. So if I now take this potion, and wow, this is gonna be, I don't know if this is useful or not. Oh, yeah, it definitely is useful. Check this out. I could just kind of gradually make my way around like this. You know, I've realized I really don't need to use the TNT technique anymore. I can just do this. I can just Oh, okay. I do need to be careful about landing on blocks and my elytra deactivating, but still, this is it is slow though. I mean, it could definitely be faster. But I suppose if I fire this, then yeah, I get around like that. Oh, this is the best. Thank you to everyone who suggested this idea. This is fantastic. Oh, we'll be done in no time. I mean, look at this. I'm essentially just mining my way through. Okay, no, I'm falling down. Well, I gotta say I'm impressed by that. So, I have used 1, 2, 3, 4 of my potions, and I have cleared out this entire side. So that means that I've spent a maximum of 15, 16 minutes doing this, and it's all gone. Whereas on the other half, I spent the best part of an hour and a half trying my best to fly around igniting all of the TNT. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that as per usual, the comments were correct. Anyway, now it is time to remove all of the rubbish that we have lying around this thing. So I'm going to clear up all of the chests, move everything into the storage system, and get rid of the flying machines. And this should just about do it. So this is the final flying machine that actually escaped from the system. I hadn't realized that all of the observers were there. When we break this, we're now going to need to do a quick fly off. But this is it. The hole completely clean and looking awesome. Now, a few people have been mentioning down in the comment section about the lava. This is something that I've mentioned a bunch, but I'm planning on keeping the lava because I think it looks awesome. Even though, as we found in the previous episode, I might live to regret that a little bit. Anyway, now that that's done, there's still plenty of things left to do with the witch farm area itself. So obviously the farm itself is completely finished. It's fully operational and looking good, but the items are currently just floating out and they're despawning, essentially. So we need to do something about that, and we need to create some form of massive storage system for all of the items. That's an issue. That's actually that's quite a big issue. So I fell into a cave spider spawner, got stuck in a cobweb, and then immediately got killed. Hopefully we can do this. I don't have any form of sword. Oh dear. I kind of wish I had taken my potion of slow falling with me. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, I'm just gonna die again instantly. I'm having to kill this guy with a big axe! No! Ah! Okay, here is the new plan. We have a potion of slow falling, so I can gradually drop in and hopefully pick up all my stuff without taking too much damage. I mean, I really want to keep as many hearts as possible because I need to rush in there. Okay. I think I've just about done it. Right. Now, why is that still there? I mean, surely they'd be gone. They didn't despawn? Oh, that's just a regular spider. I was gonna say, I swear I took out that spawner. I just panicked then. So, I'm currently suffering from a bit of a strange medical condition. Don't know where it's come from. This has never happened before. But over the past 20 minutes, I've had a total blind spot in the center of my vision. And I can't really see things properly at all. So I'm kind of flying blind a little bit. And I panicked because I was looking at my inventory for about 5 minutes thinking that I'd lost the Fork of Friendship. But it turns out it's right in front of me. Which actually makes me slightly more concerned than I already was about my eyeballs. Anyway, vision problems aside, we need to mine out a space for our storage system. And this storage system is going to be relatively smart. I hope that we can do a good job on this one. And the first thing that we need to do is, yeah, clear out a space and then start getting some hoppers in. But first, I think some lights are in order. And I gotta say, there are some serious noises coming from that area. Well, we found where they're coming from. And I think there might be a spawner there. That's the only reason why I can imagine there's... Oh, no. Yeah. This gigantic hole is essentially stopping anything from spawning in this whole area. So that means that obviously caves are going to be filled to the brim with mobs. Have beacons always made this noise? That's super cool. And I've never noticed it before. Either way, we now have a haste 2 beacon. It goes right the way through the center of here. I think it's here to stay, even if we don't keep it as haste. I mean, we could do something. Now that the hole has been dug out, there's this natural forming hole in the area here. And, I mean, come on. Well, we can't not use that. I think it would be cool if we just kind of patch that up with glass. And then this is where the chests are going to be, in lines down here. But we have to be able to see out into the hole, because otherwise you'd never be able to spot it. Now, I've been doing some thinking about designs for this thing, and originally I was just going to do a regular storage system, but then I thought it would be cool, because we've cleared out the entire swamp, to bring the swamp back into the storage system. So we've got some grass, we're going to have these kind of muddy tones, and then I thought for the walls we'd replicate what we have going on with the walls of our hole, because I mean I actually quite like the way that they look. Now in terms of the storage system, we're going to have a shulker box storage system for all of the redstone, so that's going to go into this chest, and then we're going to have all the other drops over here. So that is going to be glass bottles, glowstone, gunpowder, spider eyes, sugar, and sticks. This floor is looking really cool. I'm really liking how this is coming together so far. So the next thing that I have to do is obviously clear out the extra space, because we've had to expand this room a tiny bit, and then I can start work on the walls. I don't really know how I'm going to do that just yet. A creeper just blew up my bed. I'm in panic mode. And do you know what's funny? I think I might have actually seen it coming, but this eye thing that I have going on where I can't see properly meant that I couldn't actually register it as a creeper and didn't do anything about it. I think I might be the first person ever to have actually been caught out by the camouflage of a creeper. And because of that, I think I'm actually going to take a break for today. So I've hooked up a bunch of hoppers into these chests, and I've also placed in all of the water for this item stream that we have right here. So this, in theory, should now be sending the items right the way out into the storage system. Let's just have a quick check. Okay. Yep, so all of those items are being dropped out, so I'm going to go AFK overnight, and we'll see how many items we actually get from this new witch farm. And the answer is quite a lot. We managed to get ourselves just over 3 stacks of redstone blocks from one 12-hour overnight session, and the server was incredibly busy. There were people online all night, so if the server was empty, I imagine the drop rate would be even higher, which is absolutely fantastic. But it's actually been a couple of days since I've last been on the server. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you will know that at the studio I've been having some issues with 2 construction sites have opened at exactly the same time on either side of the building that I record videos on. And even though I'm moving out in a month into the new house, that's still a big issue because obviously I've got 1 month of recording left to do. So I've had to take some fairly drastic action. Give me a second. So here we are in my new recording studio. Now, for those of you who haven't quite worked it out yet, we're in my 1974 VW bus. So if we just look through there, yeah, that's where you drive. My PC's down in that corner there, and you can see all of the cables and things. And then we have got both my monitors set up. We've got my speakers down there. That's my preamp. We've got my microphone, so I'm talking into that. My keyboard, my mouse, my feet. And
And yeah, just this is where I'm going to be recording for probably the next 30 days or so. And you know what? It's actually quite cozy and is better acoustically than my actual studio.
So now that I've explained that ridiculous situation, let's get the rest of this storage system built. Oh yeah, we also got tons of other useful stuff like glowstone and gunpowder and everything. I mean, it's pretty good. So this is going to be the storage for all of our general items, and you can see that I've placed in all of those in there. So they're in this kind of stack, and that will gradually fill up. But here we're going to have a shulker box storage system. So I've actually placed in the redstone here. The shulker box will be dispensed out. When it fills up, it will be pushed across, and then a new shulker box will be put in place. So all we need to do is place a hopper running into the top of this. And that is that setup done. So now we just need the sorters along the top, and then this thing's completed. Right, so all of the items flow in here. Then this is the hopper that takes the redstone in, so that's our redstone sorter. And then these right here are all of the other item sorters, and I'm just trying my best to make this thing look nice. So, I mean, you know, it's not stunningly beautiful, but I'm trying to build up the area around it, and I think up at the top here we're going to close off the cave, and then this here is going to be our little storage system, and then this is where our nether portal is going to be going. And this right here should round things off, so this is going to stop me killing the server. This is something that I never really used to install back in my old sorting systems for farms, and it's stupid. So all the overflowing items will make their way in there. Alright, I think we're done. Now the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about is I don't know where my shulker shells are. Okay, they're not in there. They are in there, but we only have enough for 20. That could be an issue. But, I mean, it's kind of not. That's 20 chests filled in with items of redstone. If I start overflowing from that, then, you know, I clearly have way too much redstone. And, of course, we can always gather up more shulker boxes, so that's not the end of the world. Anyway, the entire thing is now fully completed, so now I'm just in the process of A, I've fixed up my storage system, but more importantly, B, I'm now transporting all of the valuable items that are over at the witch farm, which there are tons of them, back into my base. I am so confused as to how this system keeps breaking. I keep patching it up, and it keeps it's broken again. Wait, where did I literally just put the subscribe blocks? I had them in my inventory. Where have I put them? Okay, there's some spares. I mean, what causes this? What is causing this? Seriously, I have very little understanding as to why this specific spot is the one that always breaks, because it happened again, and there's no subscribe blocks running through the system. And even if there were subscribe blocks running through the system, there are about, I mean, there's a decent number of opportunities for the subscribe blocks to go in somewhere else. I don't understand why it's always here. These specific ones, they're always the ones that break. Is it a chunk boundary? Ooh, it's a chunk boundary. But it's the ones on the inside of the chunk, the ones that break. You would think this one would break. Oh no, I suppose if I'm over there, maybe I unload here? Oh, I don't know. I found the solution, and it turns out it was me being silly, as always. So in some of the spots in my storage system, I have things like this going on, and it turns out that these hoppers fill up so fast that the hopper actually can't keep up. So this number at the front, say for example we put a full stack of 64 emeralds in, this number would keep creeping up because it can't unload the items fast enough, which means that that number combined with this number gives a stronger signal strength, which then activates both of these little modules, activates both of them, but there's no items flowing in, so they gradually unload all of their items, which of course opens them up to receiving a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, it's all my fault, and I've been complaining about it for the past 84 episodes. Why do I have to be me? Like, what? Right, the sorting system is now back up and running, and hopefully that will be the last time I ever have to say those words, because I have patched it up probably about 15 times this season. I mean, seriously. So, this is all done. Now let's head back over to the witch farm, because this project is now all done. The witch farm has been completed. There is nothing else that I need to do over here. We have cleared up everything. The hole is dug. We've got the perimeter done. We've got all of the item transportation done. We've got the item pickup systems done. And we've set ourselves up with a pretty nice storage system too, which is holding up all of the items. And I'm proud. I'm definitely, I mean, this is probably the biggest farming project I've ever worked on. It's been tons and tons of fun. It got me back into live streaming again, which is fantastic. I mean, this is all great. And then he messages and he ruins them. What does he want? I wonder what he wants. It turns out all Iskall wanted to do is congratulate me on how smart my concrete maker was. So this is a pleasant surprise. Normally when Iskall says Mr. Mumbo in the chat, it means he's going to blast me for something. Anyway, as I was saying, the witch farm is done, super happy, and I cannot wait to use this thing a bunch, because obviously we need tons of resources for Sahara, and we also need all the stuff to sell at Sahara too. Anyway, let's move on, but before we do, I've been playing in the VW bus for about 4 hours today, and the PC is actually warming it up. This is great. Jangled Cookie X162 Y250, so that's pretty high up. Z-327. Do I go and check it out? I mean, I feel like I should go and check it out. Does this have anything to do with the jingler? I mean, I really hope that this doesn't kill me. I'm assuming I probably... Do I wear my good stuff? I mean, let's go and look. Let's bring a shulker box with us. An empty shulker box so we can dump some stuff in it. We've got some food. I'll bring some rockets, and then we'll go and check out what this is all about. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Well, I've just taken off, and I've completely forgotten what the coordinates were. Where is it? Okay, it's -162 by -327. So if we approach that there... Okay, we should now be on a bearing for it. Well, I mean... That definitely seems to fit the description. Is there anything at all special? Or what? I don't understand any of this. I'm just gonna leave. I feel like I want to check the inside of this thing. I don't know why. I mean, I'm assuming it's just empty. It is just empty. That was anticlimactic, wasn't it? On the topic of Sherlock, though, it has reminded me I should probably tell Grian that I saw Salmon Man. Yeah, apparently he's the guy to deal with these sorts of things, because he knows, well, he's at least investigating what on earth this Salmon Man thing is, so hopefully, yeah, he can lend a hand. I think we can all say that just ran into a cave and dropped a pickle. I mean, that's a pretty accurate, that's a pretty accurate description of what actually happened, I think. Anyway, weird cryptic cookies aside, and also Salmon Man discussions all gone in the past, I thought it would be a good idea to round up this episode with some work on the crypto machine, because, I mean, with all the stuff that we've been doing with the Witch Farm and also Sahara, we haven't really had a chance to work on the Mumbo system, and I thought it would be good to actually implement a few things. But first, I've got to re-familiarise myself with the redstone circuitry, because... Yep, it's a mess. Now, one thing that does need a lot of attention is the vault system. So obviously the Mumbo system that we've created here with the value fluctuations, the increasing value when people trade, the actual cash out and cash in system, that's all done and functioning. But the vaults where people store all of their Hermit coin or Mumbucks is completely non-existent at this point in time. So I want to work on that today. And originally it was going to be big rooms where each hermit had their own kind of 5x5 area. But now that I think about it, it doesn't really make too much sense. I actually quite like the thought of keeping things really nice and compact and kind of locked away. So hopefully we can do something smart here. This seems large. I mean, it works. It also doesn't extend the pulse that long. I wanted the pulse to be longer. I'm trying my best to make these things one wide so that we can tile them next to one another. But we might have to maybe make things a tiny bit bulkier. You know, this is an improvement. This is considerably smaller, it's nowhere near as bulky, and it works just fine. So right now, my secret key code is yellow wool. If we try and put anything else in there, you can see that it doesn't go through and it doesn't open up the system. But if we put this yellow wool in here and hit the button, then we get access to the chest, which obviously cannot open at this point in time, and that... that's a flaw. So if I was to put a shulker box in there... Okay, that works. That's quite a lot cooler than the chest as well. That looks a lot more vaulty. Fantastic. I got scared then. So now that we have this little vault sorted out, it's incredibly simple, but I thought I'd share it with you because I know that some of you might want to build them for yourselves. Now that we've got that worked out, and we have this system worked out as well, we're kind of good to go with the Mumbo system. But I think I'm going to wait until Sahara is done, just because Sahara's a massive project and I really want to commit myself to it. However, once Sahara is built, then you best believe Mumbo is coming to the Hermitcraft server. So, I hope that you enjoyed this episode on Hermitcraft. If you have, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and filming channel stuff, you know what to do. Link will be on the end screen.
One.